In today's video, we'll be reviewing a chapter of one of my book, My Mirror, My Guide, published in the year 2019. This is a book, and we'll be reviewing something very important. It's very relevant. It will be very relevant in our journey. This is chapter 10 of this book, and the title is You and Platforms. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm Nwachukwu Blessing, and in this channel we inspire your mind, break limiting beliefs, and overcome life challenges. Today's video will bless you so much. I would love to encourage you. Please watch this video to the very end. Do not forget to share to your friends, to your family members, and to your loved ones. Thank you so much for doing that, and without further ado, sit back, relax, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So in today's video, we'll be reviewing a chapter of one of my book, My Mirror, My Guide, published in the year 2019. This is a book, and we'll be reviewing something very important. It's very relevant. It will be very relevant in our journey. This is chapter 10 of this book, and the title is You and Platforms. You and Platforms. I don't know, for some reason the Spirit of God was letting me talk about this particular chapter in today's video because I believe He has something for someone today. We'll be reviewing this particular chapter of this book, You and Platforms, in chapter 10 of My Mirror, My Guide. And first of all, I'll be reading the chapter. Some part of the chapter that I want to talk about, I'll be reading it out to us, and after that, I will throw more light on it. I believe that the Holy Spirit will speak to us as we communicate this particular chapter of My Mirror, My Guide. Chapter 10, You and Platforms. This chapter will be digging deep on the vital tips that will enable you express your content. We are in an age whereby people wait for platforms and opportunities instead of creating one for themselves. This is not the period of waiting for opportunities. Waiting for opportunities or a platform is a big risk, and one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make, because you might wait in vain. You might wait in vain. I can recall many people that had waited for platforms in their lives and could never get one. What will you do to get yourself a platform? This is the biggest question. What will you do to get yourself a platform? This particular chapter of the book is basically for those who are looking for platforms to express their gifts, their potential. They already know they have something inside of them. They know they have great potential. They know they have great abilities. But they are looking for platforms to express this, because it's one thing to have gift potentials, but it's another thing to express it. When our gift and potential lacks expression, frustration sets in. So this passage is basically for those who are seeking for opportunities to express their gift. And I read, what will you do to get yourself a platform? What will you do to get yourself a platform? It is very easy and simple. Start up with what you have and from where you are. No matter how difficult it could be, you have to engage in it for you to get yourself greater platforms. Start with what's available at the moment. You know, by the time you start expressing yourself with what's available, people will get to know what you do. People will get to know what you do, who you are, your identity. People have to know you. They have to understand who you really are before they can entrust you with their platforms. This alone will make people believe and trust in your content. Before you know it, the magic will begin to happen. Doors of opportunities will begin to open, and platform will massively be available for you. Remember, your content is what you carry inside of you. the gifts God has endowed you with, the potentials God has endowed you with. These are your content. Now, people have to trust you to the point of getting you platforms to express what you do. People have to trust you. They can't just entrust you with platforms when they don't know who you really are or what you can do, your capabilities and capacity. By so doing, you begin to bless lives with what you've got inside of you in a bigger way. Just imagine that you keep waiting for platforms. What will happen to your content? What will happen to your content? Imagine you keep waiting all your life. You're waiting for platforms and opportunity to express your gift. What will happen to your content, your potential, your gifts? What will happen to them? They will all waste away. Nobody will really know what you are capable of, nor what you can do. They won't be confident enough to let you express yourself in their space because they might be scared you will mess things up for them. You see, that is why you need to start from where you are, what you have, and do the little you can. As you are doing it, you are making way for people to get to know you. You are making way for people to get attracted to what you are doing. By so doing, they will know what you are capable of, your abilities, your strengths. That's how they can be able to entrust you with their platforms. Therefore, start with what you have at the moment and let people get to know about you. Create awareness while you do all this in every possible means. Awareness is very important. Awareness is very important. For example, you are being called for any speaking engagement or whatsoever you are into, and you are given opportunity to come and express that in any platform. Learn to create awareness about that. Every invitation you get, learn to create awareness about it because it will further boost your visibility. It will help people to get to know you more and even entrust you with their platforms. That is the very importance of creating awareness. Do not neglect the days of little beginnings because surely greater days are ahead. Greater days are ahead. Never neglect the days of little beginnings because there are a lot of us, we are too negligent of our little beginnings. We neglect the little results we are getting. We neglect all of these things, and which is really bad. You need to acknowledge those little beginnings because when greater days eventually shows, you will be able to look back and see how far God has taken you. Never neglect the days of your little beginning. Keep on doing it. Be consistent and intentional about what you do. You will soon get massive results with what you do. You will soon get massive results of what you do if you do not give up. Never neglect the days of little beginning and be consistent, be intentional. Keep on pushing it. Never give up on your craft. Surely if you do not give up, you will grow massive results in the end. A lot of people, when it seems like what they are doing is not bringing forth massive results, they abandon it. They are too impatient to continue with that which they are doing because they feel like no result, nothing is showing up, everywhere is so dry. You just give up on what you are doing because you are not patient to wait for that actual result that will eventually show up in the nearest future if you do not give up. Do not just fold your arms and be waiting for opportunities. It's a big risk and total waste of time. You know what? While you are expressing yourself with the things you have at hand, you should be diligent, consistent, and intentional about it. Very soon, you will find yourself in a better and bigger platforms if you would not give up on your little beginning. As you do all of this, when opportunity comes up, do not joke with it. Never say no to opportunity. Never say no to any opportunity that will enable you express yourself in life. Even if you don't know how to do it, take it up, go learn how to do it, and come up with great performance. People that always say no to opportunities never get things done in their lives. I want you to know this. People that always say no to opportunities, they never get things done in life. They will keep on saying no till they waste all the opportunities that comes their way. As you journey in life, always watch out for opportunities, and if you can't find any, then create one for yourself. It's in the act of you doing those things you can do on your own platform, people will get to know your strength and your abilities. Let me draw your attention to the Holy Bible, the book of Exodus, chapter 4, 2-3. It says, "Then the Lord said to him, 'What is that in your hand?' 'A staff,' he replied. The Lord said, 'Throw it on the ground.' Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it." Sometimes in life we neglect what we have in our hands because to us it is the normal things we are already used to. To us it's nothing. It's normal thing we already used to, without knowing that there are other uses for that particular thing. At that point, when you let it out, you will be shocked at the kind of amazing result you will get. When Moses let out the staff and dropped it on the ground, it turned to a snake. He was shocked to the point that he ran from it. He only had knowledge that the staff aided movement without knowing that the staff had extraordinary powers. 2. That thing you have in your hand, you are thinking is just used for what you think it is used for. That is the more reason why it is good for us to form a very good relationship with God. When you get closer to God, He opens your eyes to see deeper things of the secret, things you are not used to. He will open your eyes to see it. Before then, Moses thought the staff is meant for movement, to aid movement. He never knew that there is something deeper about the staff. And this is something with most of us today. We think this particular thing we have at hand is just common, is not of great importance or great value. We commonize it, we neglect it. But if God should open our eyes to show us deeper things that particular thing can do, we will be shocked. It's very important that you draw closer to God every day of our life. If you can recall where this event happened in Exodus chapter 4, 2-3, it was in the burning bush, the presence of God. When the presence of God was calling the attention of Moses, he now drew near to the burning bush, the presence of God. That was where he was able to see the deeper meaning of that staff. So we need to get closer to God in our journey so that He can show to us things we know nothing about. He draw closer to us to show us things we need to know that will help us in our life journey and speed us up in every area of our lives. Just like the passage stated above, Moses was thinking that what he had in his hand was an ordinary staff, without him knowing the staff was extraordinary, until that point when God drew his attention. It's high time we stop looking down on those small things that are within our possession. To us, they might look ordinary, but the truth is that if we could see beyond the peripheral, you will know it's not just ordinary, but there are underlying powers behind every little thing in us we might have neglected. Do not be so myopic to judge by a mere peripheral outlook. Instead, see beyond. See beyond. Until you know the worth of what you have in your hand, it will remain dormant. Therefore, draw your attention to those parts of your life you have neglected for so long. There lies your treasure. If you can activate it, then it will be useful not just for you, but for your entire generation. Think about it. I'm so much inspired by this chapter of this book, My Mirror, My Guide. And I believe you learned something from this chapter of this book. I believe you learned something. I believe this chapter of the book has taught us something that will help us in our journey. Do not keep waiting for opportunities. When you don't see the opportunity you are looking for, always create one for yourself. Create one for yourself. Express those gifts and potentials God has placed inside of you. Let people come to know about it. As you're doing it in your own little way, in your own little platform, God will open up doors and opportunities and open the eyes of kings and queens to commune with you and bring you to their bigger and larger platforms. Do not keep waiting for opportunities. You have something great inside of you. Start working with what you have. Start from where you are. What you have is enough. Alright guys, you're already coming to the end of this video, and I do really hope you are blessed by this chapter of my mirror, my guide, as much as I do. If you're really inspired by this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you learn from this chapter of the book? What is your take on it? What advice would you want to give to people who are waiting for platforms and opportunity to express their gifts and their potentials? What do you have to say? Put it down in the comment section, because one or two people can read that from you and we'll all be blessed by what you have to tell us in the comment. Thank you so much. Do not forget to share this video to your friends, to your family members, to your loved ones. And thank you so much for doing that. I still remember myself, Nwachukwu Blessing. I hope to talk to you soon in my next video.